Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to cover the slope-intercept form. So if we look at it, we have the generic equation for slope-intercept form. Here y is equal to mx plus b. M is the slope. And b is the y-intercept. Okay. So let's go into this example and see how this applies. We have the equation. We have to find the equation of a line passing through these 2 points right here. So we have one point right here and the other point is right there. All right. So we need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So let's start with these 2 points. The first thing we have to know is what the slope is, and then we have to find out the y-intercept for this line. So we have these 2 points. The first point, the smaller x value would be our x sub 1. So this is x sub 1 and this is y sub 1. And then you have x sub 2. We have y sub 2. Comma in between. So now we go ahead and calculate the slope, where m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then we just plug in. Y sub 2 is 6 minus y sub 1 is negative 4 over x sub 2 is 2 minus y sub x sub 1 is negative 2. Alright, so here we go. We get 6 plus 4 on top. And the bottom we get 2 plus 2. So we have 10 over 4. And we simplify this fraction, we get 5 over 2. Okay. Now we have the slope, the m. So let's plug in the slope in our equation. For m, I'm going to put 5.5 now. X plus b. Alright. So now the only unknown that is left is b. And to do that, we can actually use one of these points that we have, either this one or this one, whichever seems easier to use. And we plug this into the equation for y and x and solve for b. So I'm going to use the second one. It doesn't have any negative sign with it, so all the numbers are positive. So I'm going to use that one. So if I use this point, so I'm going to use y is equal to 6, 5/2. For x, I'm going to put the x value, which is 2 plus b. Now we simplify this. So 6 equals, this 2 and 2 cancel each other, so it's 1. So we're left with 5 plus b. And then we subtract 5 from both sides. So b is equal to basically 1 right here. Now we can go ahead and plug this b value here into our equation. So y is equal to 5/2 x plus 1. Okay. Now this is our equation. Now to find the x-intercept, so let me put this one. For y-intercept, we have this form where x is equal to 0 and we have some y value. So we have basically y was equal to 1 for our y-intercept. For x-intercept, we have x-intercept. We have this ordered pair x comma 0 right there. So x comma 0 is the ordered, basically the x-intercept. So if we plug in this right here, y, 0 for the y, and then we plug in x, we can solve for the x-intercept. So let's do that. So I'm plugging in 0 for y right there, and then 5/2, and then I'm plugging x for x, so it's just x plus 1. Now we go ahead and simplify this equation and solve for the x value. So if we subtract 1, and then this is gone, so we're left with 5/2 x equals -1. Okay, so it's -1. Now we multiply both sides by 2/5, so we can get x on this one, so times 2/5. So this 2 cancel this, and 5 cancel this one, so on this side we have x, and on this side we have -2/5. So now we can take this one and plug in here, so our x-intercept is -2/5 comma 0. Okay, so first let's look at it again. We found out the slope, then we plug in the slope into this in the slope intercept form, and then we have to figure out what b was, and then we use one of these points to figure out what the b value is. Then we got the b value, and this gave us this equation. And then we went ahead and solved for the x-intercept by plugging in this particular point into our equation and solving for x, and that came out to be -2/5. Now let's do one more example. Now we have to find the equation of the line passing through this point, and the slope is given already, which is 2. So we have y equals mx plus b. We already know that m equals 2. So this is a little bit easier compared to the previous example. And now we're going to use this 2 here. So y is equal to 2x plus b. And now we're going to plug in this point right here to solve for b. So the point is -2, 1. So your y value is -1. 2, and your x is -2 plus b. So it says -1 equals -4 plus b. Now you add 4 on both sides. B equals 3. So your equation is now y equals 2x plus 3. All right, now let's so our y-intercept is 3, so this would be y-intercept would be 0 comma 3. This is y-intercept, and we can plot this point right here. It would be right here. This is 0 comma 0,3. Now let's find out the x-intercept. So the x-intercept is x comma 0. Your y value is 0. X-intercept is the point where the line is going to cross the x-axis. So we take this and we plug into our equation. So this becomes 0 equals 2x plus 3. So I plugged in 0 for the y and x for the x. So we have 2x plus 3 equals 0, minus 3, minus 3. So we have 2x equals negative 3. And then you divide by 2. So your x equals negative 1.5. So negative 1.5 right here. Let me just do this real quick. Equals negative 1.5. So here we have one right here. Negative 1.5 would be around here, like around this point right here. So this is your x-intercept, negative 1.5 comma 0. Okay, now we can actually connect these 2 points, and this would be the graph of our line right here, right there, like that. So this is the line that goes through these 2 points right here. Well, this is our y-intercept and this is the x-intercept. All right, that would be it.